Hi players, bonjour from Paris, my name is Asaf and welcome to my channel Easy Board Games. Today we're going to have a playthrough of Septima that was designed by Robin Hegedus. I hope that I pronounced that name correctly, and was published by Mind Clash Games. As always, if you learned something new or if you saw something that you liked, please consider subscribing to my channel and help me grow this amazing community. A huge shout out and thank you for Robin for checking out my video before publishing it, making sure that I didn't have any kind of mistakes. I really appreciate it. Ready to be the new Septima? Let the easy playthrough begin. Alright guys, so I'm going to skip the basic setup, everything that we already know from the basic game, and I'm going to skip directly to all the changes that we need to do in order to play the full game. So first of all, pay attention that on the board right now, we're using the side with this symbol over here. Now we will need to take the 6 buildings, the additional ones that we have. 3 of them are bronze and 3 of them are gold. We'll need to mix them and choose one of each. The gold building we're going to put right over here, so we can already turn it on the other side, and the same with the bronze building. Then we'll need to add the ritual board, and we'll need to split the spell cards into 3 categories. We're going to have earth, air, and fire. From each deck, we'll just need to separate the 2 scoring cards that we have. So we have it in green, blue, and red. And we'll need to put them right over here in these locations. Then the other spells that we have, we're going to put them in 3 decks also with the same color. And we're going to do 2 things. First of all, we're going to open one of the spells and put him right over here. And the second spell we're going to put face up, as you can already see. Now, below these spells that are already open, we're going to have the deck of spells that for now is going to remain closed. Of course, needless to say that the scoring cards need to be shuffled separately from the regular spells. Next to the board, we're just going to add the spell markers, as you can see right over here. Now, regarding to the players themselves, we're going to have a few changes also. So first of all, we're going to have some sort of a draft with the witches. So each of you is going to draw 4 witches tiles. We're going to have a draft, so one player will choose a witch and pass the other 3 witch tiles to the other player, and vice versa. And like this, we're going to choose 2 witches. Obviously, I have done that already off camera because I don't want to lose too much time. And then with the witches tiles that we didn't use, we're just going to shuffle them and put them right over here with the other witches, of course, on top of all the others. The next thing, that after we have taken the resources or whatever that is written on the prologue cards, we're going to take them from both players, of course, and we're going to shuffle all of them with the other prologue cards that for now we're going to put right next to the board. So let's give them a good shuffle and place them back in their place. Now, starting with the last player in turn order and proceeding counterclockwise, each player will choose 1 visible regular spell. That means one of the 6 spells that we can see right over here, and we'll place them face up next to their board. So as you can see, the purple player has chosen one of the air spells. He has taken it from this position right over here. Obviously, after he has taken the spell, we're going to have this situation, so he'll need to flip face up the other spell card that he just revealed. The orange player has chosen a fire spell, and now starting again with the last player and going counterclockwise, each player is going to place their ritual marker on any one of the starting places on the ritual track. That means that he's going to choose one of these places, going to put his ritual tracker, and it's no problem if even the other players would like to put it in the same position. There is absolutely no problem with that. In this case, the purple player has chosen to put his marker right over here, and the orange player chose this position. So for now, that's it. We are ready to start actually the first round, the first season, the first moon phase. So let's just go directly to it. And I'm going to guide you phase by phase. So the first thing that we need to do over here in phase A is that the 2 players are going to choose their first card to play. So now after the 2 players have revealed their cards, the first player, which is the purple one, will start to execute his turn. So the first thing that he can do if he wishes is to move to one adjacent space. He would not like to do it right now, but here we have 2 other things that we can do. First of all, at this point, before we're starting to execute the card, he can decide if he would like to drink a potion or to cast a spell. If he does not want to do it right now, he will be able to drink a potion or to cast a spell after executing all the actions on the card. He would like for now to cast a spell, so this is the first time that we're seeing it with the full game. So he's going to cast the spell that he has that is called Soothing Melody. And it says at the end of season, if your suspicion is 3 or lower, take 2 different crowd picks and score 2 wisdom. Now I want to show you 2 things over here. Some spells you can cast them with whatever action that you've chosen, and that means that if on the spell itself we have a question mark, like we can see on this spell for example. This specific spell that the purple player has decided to play has a specific icon, and that means that only when he's executing this specific action, that means the chant card, he will be able to cast this spell. As we can see, this is exactly what he chose to do, so he will be able to cast this spell. Now, another thing that you should pay attention to is this icon right over here, and it means that this is an ongoing spell. So some spells are going to have an immediate effect. You're going to take something or you're going to execute something and that's it. But some spells, like the purple player has just decided to play, are going to have an ongoing effect. So what we need to do once we have cast this spell is just to, first of all, turn it 90 degrees. That means that the spell is tapped, and we'll take one of these tokens. We're going to put them right over here. So that will remind us that the spell still has an ongoing effect. Now, after the player has cast his spell, we're going to execute whatever we have on the card. So basically, we're going to be right over here, and it says lower your suspicion by 2. Okay, so from 2, we're going to drop to 0. And pay attention that because of the player matched with the Septima, as we can see right over here, he will be able to use the matching bonus at the lower part of the card. Now at a 2-player game, you'll be able to either match with the left token, and that means that the suspicious will raise only by 1, or with the right token, and that means that the suspicious will raise by 2. But the chant action is a little bit different because this is the only time that we will not raise our suspicion. Instead of that, we're going to lower your suspicion by an additional 1. So from 0, he will go to -1. The last thing, number 4, that is happening when we're resolving an action is to see if we can advance on the ritual board. So let's talk about it for a few seconds. We will be able to advance on the ritual board in 2 ways. The first one that we'll see a little bit later is if we have played the ritual card. So don't worry about it, we're going to see it a little bit later. The second option is that if we have matched with another player or with the Septima, we will be able to advance on the ritual board if there is a space that corresponds or is attached or adjacent, whatever you want to call it, to our current location and contain the same icon. So just for the example, if this would have been the location of the purple player's token, it's true that he has matched, but the 2 locations that are adjacent to his token don't have the icon of the card that he has just played. So in this case, he would not be able to advance on the ritual board. But since this was the actual location of the purple player's token, he will be able to advance right over here because this location contains the same icon of the matching action and it is adjacent to his current location, so he will be able to advance right over here. And that's it, that was the turn of the purple player. Now let's move on to the orange player. So now it's time to resolve the orange player card, which is collect. So let's go again to the first thing that we can see over here. And that is if the orange player would like to take 1 movement. So the orange player would like to take 1 movement right over here. That is the quick movement. And after that, we're going to resolve what is going on. So first of all, we can see that again, we have here a match. Okay, because we have here the token of the Septima that is on collect, that is the left part. And this is the card that the orange player has decided to play. So first of all, we can see that it says collect all adjacent lunar ingredients and crystals. And also, this is the bottom part, this is the match bonus. Also collect one adjacent non-lunar ingredient. So let's talk a little bit, what does it mean, a lunar ingredient? Over here, we can see that we have the lunar token. The two ingredients that are adjacent to it are considered lunar ingredients. Thematically, this is the ingredients that are being revealed in the forest at this phase of the moon. So now let's see what we have here adjacent to the leader of the orange player. We can see that we have here one crystal that he'll be able to take, and also two herbs and one mushroom. Now, as we can see, the mushroom is a lunar ingredient and also the herbs. So we don't really need the matching bonus, but if, just for the example again, if we would have been over here, that means that we can collect two mushrooms, one herb, right? All of these are lunar ingredients. And also we would have been able to take one of these ingredients, either the berries or the skull, because the matching bonus says also collect one adjacent non-lunar ingredient, and that means any other ingredient that is printed in one of the locations adjacent to the leader himself. So again, this is not our case, we're going to come back over here. But here I would like to show you also the two bonuses that the orange player will receive from the witches that he has in his coven. So we can see Katerina here, and her bonus is saying that when we're doing the collection, okay, the collect action, we'll be able to consider one more ingredient as a lunar ingredient. So let's go back over here and I will show you that in this case, when we have Katerina, we would have been able to consider also the root as a lunar ingredient. Now, the other witch that we have in our coven, Sen, her power says that when we're using the collect action, 2 times we can, instead of taking an ingredient, we can take a crystal. Why is it good for us? Because a crystal is basically a joker of the ingredients. We can use it as any other ingredient. So what we will do, we're going to collect one crystal, as we can see over here. I'm going to take also one mushroom. So there you go. And instead of taking the 2 herbs, I'm going to take 2 crystals, right? That is the power of Sen. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is to raise the suspicion level by 1, because the orange player has matched with the left token of the Septima. So from 2, the level of suspicion is now 3. And that's it for the turn of the orange player. And we're going to continue to the next thing that we have, which is phase C. So here again, we're going to go according to the turn order. And every time we have a witch that raised the level of suspicion, we're going to have something that's happening, okay? So because the purple player has not raised the level of suspicion, we're going to ignore right now the purple player, and we're going to go back to the orange player. So we already know that the orange player has raised the level of suspicion. So now we need to see if we have an active hunter in that specific region. So we have here a few regions because we have here a few cabins. So for each cabin of a hunter, we have a region. And that means that this is a region number 1, 2, 3, and so on until region 6. And we can identify the regions because it's going to be like slices of pizza, let's say it, okay? We're going to start from the hospital and we're going to go like this when the cabin is in the middle. Now, to help us a little bit, we can see that this cabin, for example, is a bronze. So all the locations with the bronze icons, okay, will be considered as part of this region. The orange witch is actually in one of these places that connects to the region of the active hunter. If the witch would have been over here, we would completely ignore this phase, but unfortunately for the orange player, they're situated over here. So now what they will need to do is to take this die, they will need to roll it. Over here we can see that we have 0, and we will need to sum up whatever we have on the die and the level of suspicion. Here we can see that the level of suspicion is 3, so the hunter is going to move 3 times in the shortest way to go to this witch. Now, if we have a witch on the way or something like that, that is totally okay. The hunter is just going to pass through that witch because this is not the witch that actually the hunter is looking for. So if, for example, the purple witch would have been over here, the leader, the hunter would just pass through it. All right, so now the hunter is going to move 3 times again in the shortest way to that leader. So we have 1, 2, and 3. So in this case, the hunter did not reach the leader of the orange player, and that means that we can just take back the hunter to that cabin that he just went from. Now we're going to move to phase D. So again, we're going to go according to turn order. First, we're going to see if that specific player has raised the level of suspicion. Again, the purple player did not, so we're going to go to the orange player. And if the player has risen the level of suspicion and there was no active hunter in that specific area, we would have taken the first hunter counterclockwise and put it in the cabin in the area of that witch. After we finish this, we're going to go to phase E. And it says that first of all, we need to do something here with the tokens. So the token that was on the right side is going to go out. The token that was on the left side is now going to advance. And we're going to take a random token and put it over here in this position. Next, if we would have had non-active hunters, we would have made them active. Now, I do know that usually you need to put the hunters like this in case they are non-active, okay? Obviously, when you're playing, the hunters will stand up, but just so it will be a little bit clear for you, I've decided to put them like this. So let's say that a non-active hunter, I would just put him like this. I hope it's okay for you guys. Again, we have nothing to do here. We're going to move over here, and that means that we will need to remove patients that we have healed. We don't have something like this yet. We'll see it a little bit later. So the last thing is that we will need to move the lunar token 1 step forward. So from 1, it will go to number 2. And now we can see that the lunar ingredients are herb, root, and I remind you that for the orange player, because he has a Katerina as a witch, the berries over here will be considered as lunar ingredients also. After we finish this, we're going to, of course, discard the cards that we've just played. So the chant will go next to the player board, and also the collect of the orange player, and we're going to continue to another turn. So after the 2 players have secretly decided which card they would like to play, they're going to simultaneously reveal both of them. And here we can see that both of the players have decided to play the move action. So again, let's start from phase A. So we already revealed. Now we're going to see if the purple player would like to take a quick move. But here it's not going to be very effective for him, because we can see on the card that the normal action would have been move up to 3 spaces with your leader and collect 1 adjacent ingredient. But the matching bonus said instead, so the action on the card itself does not matter right now, instead move to any space and gain 1 crystal, which is obviously much better than the normal action on the card. So the quick move is not really important, and the purple player would like to move over here to this location and receive, of course, 1 crystal. So we're going to give him 1 crystal right over here. It's going to go to his board. Now, of course, we're going to raise 1 level in the suspicion because he has a match with another player. So from -1, it's going to go up to 0. And also now the last step again is to go to the ritual board. And again, we can see that the purple player would be able to advance 1 more step on the ritual board because there is a match and this icon is adjacent to his current location. So he will be able to move right over here. That's it for the purple player. Let's move on to the orange player. The orange player is also going to move to any location, so he decides actually to go over here and gain 1 crystal. After that, he's going to raise the level of suspicion by 1, so from 3, it's going to go up to 4. And he will also be able to move up in the ritual board because, again, we have a match with this icon, so we already know the drill, and that is it. Finishing this up, now let's move to phase C. And here we can see that both players raised their level of suspicion. So again, this is going to be pretty much about here. Just to make sure that we're okay, we can see that over here we have a golden icon, and this is the golden cabin. So obviously it's not going to be related to this hunter or to this one. So right now nothing is going to happen. The orange player, which continues to be a little bit unlucky, has an active hunter in his area. So the orange player is going to roll the die again. And luckily for him, he has again a 0, so 0 plus 4, it's 4. And this hunter is going to move 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again, the hunter didn't manage to reach him, so the hunter is going to go back to his cabin. Moving on now to phase D. Here we can see that because the purple player has raised their suspicion level but did not have an active hunter in his area, we're going to go again to the first hunter counterclockwise, and we're going to move him to his area. So counterclockwise to his area is going to be this hunter right over here, and he's going to move the hunter to this cabin number 4. The orange player did raise the suspicion, but he did have an active hunter that we already saw. So he's going to skip this phase, and we're going to move again to phase E. So that means, first of all, that this token is going to go out. This token moving one side to the left, we're going to take a random one, which is to heal. The next thing is that we need to do is, again, if we had an inactive hunter, we didn't have a healed patient, so we're going to skip this one also. And now we're going to move the lunar token one step ahead. So from number 2, it's going to move to number 3. And that's it. So we're going to continue to the next turn. So again, both of the players have chosen the cards secretly, and now they're going to reveal them at the same time. So again, we can see that both of them have chosen the same card, which is to brew. So let's start with the purple player and what he's going to do. Now we're going to see something new that we haven't seen so far, and that is activating the ability of an adjacent building. Over here we can see this is the flying elephant building, and the special ability that it has is saying that we can spend 1 fewer ingredient for each practical potion you brew this turn, but receive no wisdom for the ones you have spent fewer ingredients for. So first of all, we understand that it's going to be only for the practical potions, not for the remedy potions. And every time we're going to make one of these practical potions, we can pay 1 less ingredient, but we will not receive the 3 wisdom that we would have usually received if we brew this potion in a normal way. Second of all, we can see that the matching bonus on the brew card says that you may spend 1 fewer ingredient in total. So we have here a lot of discounts, but let's see how does it go. The purple player would like to make 3 potions as written on the card. This is what the card allows us to do. So the first potion that he would like to do is a practical potion. Let's say that it's going to be the love potion. So he's going to pay 1 skull, 1 crystal instead of 1 root, and also he would like to use the ability of the flying elephant and not pay this mushroom. So that means that he's going to pay these ingredients and the crystal, and he's going to take a love potion, but he will not receive the 3 wisdom as we saw before. The second potion that he would like to do is a paralysis remedy. So again, he's going to pay 1 skull, and now he's going to pay 1 crystal. So here we didn't use discounts at all. We're just going to take this potion. And the last potion that he would like to do is a calming potion. So here he's going to use 1 berry. And because the matching bonus says that you may spend 1 fewer ingredients in total, then he's not going to need another ingredient. So he's going to take this calming potion, which is this one right over here. And because he didn't use the ability of the flying elephant, he's going to score for it 3 wisdom. So let's take it from here, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put it right next to his board. Of course, what I skipped over here because I want to make things a little bit faster is that he did not take the quick move option that he had, and we moved directly to resolving the card itself. Now, over here we can see that he did raise the suspicion by 1 because he matched with the orange player. So from 0, it will go up to 1. And when we're moving to the ritual board, we can see that neither of these locations contain the icon of the brew card. So he is not going to advance on the ritual board right now. Moving to the orange player, he would not like to make the quick move also, so we're just going to see how he's going to resolve the card. And he would like to make 3 potions as well. So first of all, he would like to make 2 blindness remedy, which is going to cost him a total of 2 roots and 2 berries. So we have here 2 berries and 2 roots. So far, so good. And he's going to take these 2 remedies from right over here, put it in his possession. And another remedy that he would like to do is the infection remedy. So we can see that it's going to cost him 1 herb and 1 mushroom. So he's going to pay 1 mushroom, but again, because we have the matching bonus, he will be able to spend 1 fewer ingredient in total. So for 1 mushroom, he's going to make this infection remedy, going to take it from here and put it in his possession. Again, he also managed to raise the suspicion by 1. I think he should be careful a little bit. So from 4, it's going to go up to 5. And again, when we're looking at the ritual board, one of these location also does not contain the icon of the brew, so nothing over here. And we're going to continue to the next phase, which is phase C. And let's start again with a purple player. So he does have right now a hunter that is in the same area. He's going to throw the die. We can see that we have here 0. Is it just me that doesn't throw the die well, or what's going on here? So of course we can take the 0 and add it to the 1 suspicion that he has on his board. And obviously this hunter with 1 move will not be able to reach. So we're going to move to the orange player, and the orange player does have a hunter in his area, so he's going to throw the die. Here again, oh my god, what's going on here? He has 0, so 0 plus 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, the hunter didn't reach, so the hunter is going to go back to the cabin. So obviously we're going to skip on phase D because both of them had hunters that were active in their area, and we're going to go to phase E. So again, we're going to move this one. This token is going to advance, and we're going to take a random one, and we're going to put it on the left location. We didn't heal a patient or something like that, so we're just going to advance the lunar token 1 step ahead to number 4. Moving back to phase A, now both of the players are going to reveal the cards that they have chosen. So the purple player has decided to play the heal card, and the orange player has decided to play the chant card. So let's start with the purple player, and here we're going to see a few things. So first of all, the player would like to take a quick move and just pass over here. So right now he will not have an active hunter in his area. And also we can see that we have a match between the purple player and the Septima. So let's see what's going on the card. First of all, we can see that we have heal up to 2 adjacent patients, and the matching bonus says also gain 1 good luck charm. So first of all, we're going to take this remedy potion that we have over here, and we're going to put it on the patient. He does not have another patient adjacent that he will be able to heal, so this time it's only going to be 1. And because he had a match, also gain 1 good luck charm. So we're going to take this good luck charm right over here, and we're going to put it in the possession of the purple player. This good luck charm basically says that every time after you roll the die of the hunter to see how many steps he will come to you, after you've seen the result, you can use one of these good luck charms in order to re-roll the die. So when we're healing a patient, just like the purple player did just now, we're going to have some gratitude from these nice patients, and we're going to advance on the patient track that corresponds to that specific patient. In our case, it's going to be this one right over here. So we're going to advance 1 up, and we're going to receive the bonus that we can see printed on this location. In this case, it's going to be 1 crystal. So we're going to take 1 crystal from the supply, and we're going to put it in our possession. Now, after we have resolved all the actions on the card itself, we can drink a potion. In this case, the purple player would like to take the calming potion, so he will drink it. And here it says that we will lower your suspicion by 2, or remove a hunter to an empty hut and set it inactive. So in our case, what we're going to do is just going to lower the suspicion by 2, and this potion can go back to the board. For the next part, because we matched with the Septima, we're going to raise the suspicion by 2, right? Because we matched with a right token. So from -1, it will go to 1. And when we are going to the ritual board, we can see that we have an icon that is matching the icon that we just played. And of course, we had a match. So the purple player will be able to advance to this location right over here and see that he just entered the first ribbon. So that means that he will be able to choose one of the spells. The purple player would like to take the first scoring spell that he sees right over here, the fire one, and add it to his possession. So we're just going to put it right now next to the board. And we're going to move to the orange player's turn. The orange player, because he's a little bit afraid of the level of suspicion he already has, decided to play the chant card and decide not to take the quick move. But before resolving the card itself, he would like to drink a potion. The potion that he would like to drink is the ritual potion that he started the game with. And this means that he can treat the action as matched. So first of all, he's going to lower the suspicion by 2. So from 5, it's going to go down to 3. And also he's going to lower his suspicion by 1 more. So from 3, it's going to go down to 2. And I remind you that the chant action is the only one that if you match, you will not raise the level of suspicion. So that's it. That was the turn of the orange player. Now we're going to go to phase C. And we can see over here that it's true that the purple player has raised the level of suspicion, but now he does not have an active hunter in his area. Obviously, the orange player did not raise the suspicion, so also he's going to skip this phase. What we will do is to just take the first hunter counterclockwise from the purple player's area and move him to his area. So from here, we're just going to take the hunter and place him right over here. Again, for the orange player, it is not relevant, so we're going to move to phase E. So let's get rid of this token, move this one step again, and we're going to draw a new one, which is this token right over here. Now, we don't have an inactive hunter, but we did manage to heal a patient. So this remedy, of course, is going back to the board, and this patient that we just healed is going to go face down off the board. Then we're going to move again the lunar token 1 step ahead. So now we're entering to number 5, which is almost the end of this season. And let's take the last turn of the 2 players. Both of the players have chosen their cards. Now they're going to reveal it at the same time. So we're going to be over here in phase A. And the purple player is going to use the recruit card, and the orange player is going to use the heal card. So let's start, of course, with the first player, that is the purple one, and see what we have over here. So first of all, we do see that we already have a match between the purple player and the Septima, okay, the right token. And on the card it says, send 1 loyal citizen to the crowd, and also take 1 crowd pick. So again, we have here some new things, which is great. So before that, the purple player would like to take the quick step and move right over here. And also he would like to drink a potion. The potion that he has is the love potion, as we can see over here. And that means that he will be able to send 1 loyal citizen to the crowd, then send 1 loyal citizen from the crowd to the trial chamber. So that is pretty sweet. 1 loyal citizen means to take one of these cute minis right over here and put them in the crowd. And then, as we can see with the potion, we'll send 1 loyal citizen from the crowd to the trial chamber. So that means that we will take 1 of these loyal citizens, and we're going to put him in the first place to the left in the trial chamber. So the potion we can put back into the supply. And now let's see what we have on the card. So again, send 1 loyal citizen to the crowd. So again, we're going to take 1 more and put him right over here. And also, because we matched, we're going to take 1 crowd pick. So crowd picks is what we have right over here. Let's go over the options. The first one is to lower by 1 the level of suspicion. The second one is to move 4 times. The third one is to take 1 ingredient. And the fourth one is to pay 1 ingredient in order to ready a spell. So at this point, and just in case it wasn't clear, this video is not here at all to give you any kind of strategical advices. I just want to show you some cases. The purple player would like to spend 1 ingredient in order to ready the spell. And then we're going to take the spell that we've used, okay, that is tapped, let's say, and we're going to put it back straight up. So that means that we can use this spell again. We can cast it again in a later turn. Now, another small rule is that you cannot cast a spell, then ready it, and then cast it again. Okay, so right now we ready the spell. Of course, whatever is written in the spell, especially because this is an ongoing one, everything here is still applies, so we're going to see it a little bit later. But now for a later turn, this spell is ready to be cast again. So that was the crowd pick that the purple player has chosen. Now it's time to raise the suspicion. So since he matched with the right token of the Septima, he's going to raise the suspicion by 2. So from 1, it's going to go to 3. And we can see that one of the locations over here does not match the icon of the recruit, so he will not be able to advance on the ritual board. Now moving on to the orange player, he has chosen the heal. So first of all, he would not like to take the quick move, but he would like to cast his spell. So as you can see, this spell right over here that is called Healing Dream. First of all, we'll be able to cast it with any card that we have, okay? So it doesn't have to be the heal action, it can be really anyone. And it says, spend 1 remedy potion to heal a corresponding adjacent patient on a town area or the hospital. So now let's see what the card of the heal says. Heal up to 2 adjacent patients. But we did cast this spell, so first of all, let's tap it, put it on 90 degrees, and that will allow us to heal 1 more patient. Of course, we don't have here the match bonus, so we're not going to take a good luck charm. And let's see what's going on. So the first 2 patients that the orange player is going to heal are those 2. Okay, so he's going to put the corresponding remedy on this one and on this one. And the third patient we're going to heal right over here in the hospital, because over here we don't need to have one of the sick people's token or something like that. Here we always need to cure someone. So we're going to put this potion right over here. Now a few things are going to happen, okay? We're going to advance a few times on the corresponding tracks, okay, of the sick, but it's going to be a little bit different. So let's start actually with the green potion that we've put on the hospital. And that means that we're going to advance on this track, on the green track, but because it was someone from the hospital, we're not going to receive the bonus. So we're just actually advancing it. Now for the other 2 patients, we can advance 2 times right over here. So the first time I'm advancing, I'm going to receive a bonus that allows me to advance on the ritual board. Of course, it doesn't matter to which mark I'm going to advance. So that's the first time. Now let's take it actually on the ritual board itself. So I think that I'm going to advance right over here. Now the second time that I'm going to advance is right over here again, okay, because we've put 2 of the same potion, and that will allow me to ready any one of the spells that I have, doesn't matter which color. So we're advancing over here, and we're going to ready the fire spell that we've actually just cast. So we finished everything. Obviously, with the orange player, we don't have a match, so we're going to continue to phase C. So starting with the purple player, let's see what we have. Of course, he raised the suspicion. If you remember, we matched with the Septima, and also we have an active hunter in his area. So we're going to roll the die. So we're going to roll it, and we see that we have +1. So 1 + 3, that is 4 steps. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3. And that means that the hunter did reach the leader, and a few things are going to happen over here. First of all, I want to draw your attention to the witch that the purple player has in his coven, and that is Albert. Now, Albert's special power is after we roll the hunter's die, he can pay 2 ingredients in order to make the hunter in his area inactive. So unfortunately, now the purple player does not have 2 ingredients to pay, so he will not be able to use this power. So when we have a hunter that reached the leader of a certain player, that player, if he has more than 1 witch, will need to choose one of them in order to put in the trial chamber that is number 2 over here. So the purple player has to choose one. He's going to take Albert because, you know, guys, he didn't help him so much, unfortunately. He's going to put him right over here. Now, in a different case, if the hunter reaches a leader and that specific player has only 1 witch in their possession, you will not remove this switch. Instead, we're going to lose 5 wisdom. If we have less than 5 wisdom, we will lose as many as we can. Then we're going to lower our suspicion by 1 and move the leader any number of steps. Another option that the purple player had was to re-roll the hunter die, and that would have cost him 1 lucky charm token, but he decided not to use it this time because he already had 3 suspicion and really he's close to the hunter's cabin. So he told himself, you know what, I'm going to try and keep it for a later round. So now the hunter is going back to the cabin, and we're moving on to phase D. So obviously it's not going to be relevant to the purple player. The orange player did not raise suspicion, so he did not need to roll the die, and also he will not need to move a hunter right now. So we're going to move to phase E. So right now we're going to move this token. Later you'll see that it's not so important right now, but you know, just to have it with the flow. After that, we're going to remove all the potion tokens and also the 2 patient tokens that we just healed. It's going to be face down right over there. And then we're going to move the lunar token 1 step forward. But now, instead of moving it directly to number 1, we're going to come over here to the trial phase. So now we're going to have a certain procedure in order to resolve the trials. First of all, before the trials themselves, we're going to place angry citizens into the crowd. How we're going to do that? We're going to check the suspicion track of all the players, and for each time the suspicion level has passed one of these thresholds, we're going to add 1 angry citizen. So in the case of the purple player, we're going to add 3 angry citizens. So we're just going to take here from the supply, and we're going to put them in the crowd. Now for the orange player, since his suspicion is on number 2, we're going to add 2 angry citizens. So we're just going to take 2 more from the supply and we're going to put them over here. The next thing that we need to do is to take all the citizens, angry and loyal, from the crowd and put them in the trial bag. So let's just take all of them. I'm going to put them in the bag. We're going to mix them and we're going to start drawing 1 by 1 without looking, of course, and we're going to put them right over here. For 2 players, we're going to fill them all the way up to here, 3 players all the way up to here, and 4 players all the way through. So the first citizen that we're going to draw is an angry citizen. The second citizen that is coming up is a loyal citizen. Next one, we have another angry citizen. Number 4 that we're going to draw is a loyal citizen. And the last one, unfortunately we already know the answer, is going to be an angry citizen. If we have a tie or there are more angry citizens than loyal citizens, in this case we're going to lose this trial, and the witch that was put to the trial is going to go out from the game. We're going to banish it from the city. So unfortunately this is what's going to happen, and we can put the witch right over here or can put it back in the box. Now, if we have another witch that is going to be on trial, that means in the second trial chamber, we're going to have another trial. So we're going to take back all the citizens from the bag and from the other trial chamber, and we're going to put them again in the crowd, and we're going to repeat this procedure. As you already understood, the purple player unfortunately does not have a chance to win over here because the best will be just again a tie. So this witch is going to also be banished from the city, and we can put it back in the box. Now that all the trials have finished, we'll be able to go and do something that is called the crowd pick that we already saw before. But each player will be able to take 1, 2, 3, or 4 crowd picks if they have 3, 4, 5, or 6 citizens accordingly. Since we can see that right now the purple player has 3 citizens, they will be able to choose one of the crowd picks. The purple player would like to take one of the ingredients, as we can see over here, and he will choose to take 1 root and put it in their possession. Important to remember that if we have taken some crowd picks, we need to remove 1 loyal citizen from the crowd and put it again in our supply. After the trials, we're going to have another phase that is called end of the season. The first thing will be to shuffle the discard pile of the patient tokens. And these are these 3, as we can see right over here. So we're going to shuffle them, and then we're going to place them face down at the bottom of the patient draw stack. So from the setup, we know that we have left with 2 patient tokens right over here. So let's say that we're stacking them, and now we're going to stack the 3 patients that we discarded, and we're just going to put them at the bottom of this pile. Then we're going to advance the season token to the next season, and we can see that here and also in the last season, we will have another hunter that is going to join to the main board. So we're going to take this hunter, we're going to advance with the season token right over here, and then we're going to take the hunter that we just took, and we're going to put it in the lowest number cabin on the board. In our situation, it's going to be cabin number 1, so we're just going to add it right over here. Then we're going to set the moon phase tracker. So again, it's going to go to number 1. Every player is going to take back all of their action cards that they discarded during the round to their hand. So in the next round, of course, they have all their cards at their disposal. After that, we're going to pass the starting player token to the next player. So of course, in a 2-player game, that just means that we're going to give it to the other player. And we're going to discard the 3 most bottom spells that we can see under the ritual board back to the box. So we're going to discard them. And we're going to move the 3 visible spells from the middle 1 step to the bottom, and of course we're going to open here all the new spells. And that's it, that was the end of the first season, and we're going to continue a little bit more to the second season because there are some more cards that I would like to show you how to use them. Guys, just one small thing that I totally forgot. Over here, the spell that the purple player has cast before says that at the end of the season, if your suspicion is 3 or lower, take 2 different crowd picks and score 2 wisdom. So as we can see, we do have here for the purple player a 3 suspicion or a less, that is 3. So we do get to take 2 crowd picks. The first crowd pick that the purple player is going to take is to lower the suspicion by 1, and the other one is to take 1 ingredient to his choosing. So he's going to take 1 skull. We're just going to add it over here, and also he's going to score 2 wisdom. So we're going to take the 3 that he already has, and we're going to give him a token of 5. After we finished using this spell, after we have resolved everything that is on it, we need to take this marker and put it back next to the ritual board. Now for the preparation of the next season, we're going to have a few steps. The first one is to reveal the top witch of the witch tile stack, and we're going to put it right over here in the trial chamber number 1. The next step is to remove all the angry citizens from the crowd, and we will need to put angry citizens on all the patients that we didn't heal in the last season. So over here we have only 1 patient that we didn't heal, and that means that we're going to put an angry citizen on it just like this. Then we're going to fill up the town areas with new patients. So since this is a 2-player game, we need to have 4 patients at the maximum. We already have 1 here, so we'll need to draw 3 more. So the first one that we will draw is this one right over here. And as you can see, it has this yellow banner. Let me show it to you a little bit better. And this patient will go to the town area that has the same color and to the lowest number that is available. In our case, this is number 1. So it's going to come over here. The next patient that we have is the blue one. So the next yellow place that we have after 1 is 3, right over here. And then the third patient that we're going to draw is again a yellow patient, so we're just going to put it here on number 5. The next step is to take all the Septima action markers, shuffle them into a face down stack next to the main board, and we'll need to reveal the 2 markers. So over here, we're just going to flip all the markers like this. We're going to give them a good shuffle. And one of them we're going to put on the right side, and the other one we're just going to put on the left one. And that's it, we finished the preparation, and we're going to continue to the moon phases. So now, seeing that this is phase A, both of the players again are going to choose one of the cards, and they're going to reveal it at the same time. For the purple player, it's going to be the collect card, and for the orange player, it's going to be the move card. Since the orange player is the first player, he's going to take his action first. We can see over here that we have the move, so move up to 3 spaces with your leader and collect 1 adjacent ingredient. Pay attention that 1 ingredient and not 1 lunar ingredient, so that is going to help us. First of all, he can decide if he would like to do a quick move, that he would like to do that, so that will be the quick move right over here. And then he will need to do 3 steps. So that is 1, 2, 3 right over here, and he can take one of the adjacent ingredients. At this time, he would like to take one mushroom. So he's just going to take it from the supply and put it in his possession. Now for the purple player, he also would like to take one quick move. So he's going to move right over here. And it says collect all adjacent lunar ingredients and crystals. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't have a match, so he cannot collect one adjacent non-lunar ingredient. And over here we can see that we have the mushroom and the herbs that are lunar ingredients. So for him, he will be able to pick 2 mushrooms and 1 herb. Another thing that we can see here, since he has Wilmot as a witch, that for every mushroom that he's collecting, with this action of course, he will be able to drop his suspicion by 1. So he's going to take these 2 mushrooms and 1 herb, and he's going to put it in his supply. And because he picked 2 mushrooms, he can now take down his suspicion by 2. So 1 and 2. Then we're going to move to phase C after resolving everything with phase B. Obviously, none of the players had a match, so we don't need to roll the hunter's die, and that means that we're going to skip also phase D, and we're going to go directly to phase E. And that means that this token is going to go out, and we're advancing all the others. And the last thing that we need to do over here is just to advance the lunar token to number 2. After choosing their cards, the players are going to reveal it again, and we can see that the orange player has revealed a ritual card, and the purple player has revealed a remember card. So we have here 2 cards that we haven't talked about them before. Let's see how they roll right now. So for the ritual, we can see that we can advance 1 space on the ritual track and move 1 space sideways. If we would have matched with this card, we can also ready 1 spell or gain 1 ingredient, but this is not the case. Now the special thing that we have with the ritual is that we can advance and ignore completely all the icons, okay? So we don't need to match in order to advance on the ritual board. Also, we can move sideways, either before or after we're advancing. So let's decide that first of all we want to move sideways, and now we would like to advance. So let's advance over here. And as you can see now, we're entering the first ribbon. And that means that the orange player can gain 1 more spell. The orange player will decide to take this scoring spell that is called Adriana's Ring. And it says that you score 2 wisdom each time you lower your suspicion this season. So let's put it in his possession. And that's it, he finished his turn, moving back to the purple player. So first of all, the purple player would like to take 1 quick move and move right over here. After resolving the quick move, now we'll go to resolving the card itself. So we can see that we have perform the main ability of any action in your discard pile. Since the only card that we have in the discard pile is the collect, we can collect all adjacent lunar ingredients and crystals. And also, because we have a match between this card and this token of the Septima, we will be able to add the matching bonus to the chosen action. And the matching bonus in the collect action is also collect 1 adjacent non-lunar ingredient. So over here we can see that we can collect 2 herbs, because that is the lunar ingredients that are adjacent. And also we can collect 1 adjacent non-lunar ingredient, so we will take berries as well. Now for the suspicion, we did have a match, so we're going to raise the suspicion from 0 to 2. After that, on the ritual board, we can see that we cannot advance the token of the purple player because we don't have this icon as the remember card. So moving on to the next phase, which is phase C. We will need to throw the die. For the orange player, of course, it's not relevant because he did not raise the suspicion, but for the purple player. So we're going to roll the die, and we have here 0. 0 plus 2, so obviously that is 1, 2. The hunter did not reach the leader of the player, and he's going to go back to the cabin. We're continuing onwards. Obviously phase D is also not relevant for us, so we're going to continue to E. Let's progress the tokens. The next one is going to be this one right over here. Sorry about that. And then the token is going to move to number 3, the lunar token. And we're moving on to the next turn of the orange player. Going back to phase A, so now the 2 players are going to reveal their chosen cards. The orange player has chosen to play the plead, and the purple player chose to play the brew. So we're going to start with the orange player. Here we can see that we do have a match with the Septima. So we're going to resolve all of the card, send 1 loyal citizen from the crowd into a trial chamber, and also score 2 wisdom. And the match bonus is also send 1 loyal citizen from your supply to the crowd. So we can first of all resolve whatever we have in the matching bonus and only then the main action itself. So that means that we're going to send a 1 loyal citizen to the crowd, and then we're going to take this loyal citizen and we're going to put it in the trial chamber. So let's put it right over here. And also we're going to score 2 wisdom. So 2 wisdom from the supply, and we're going to put it just over here. So as you obviously saw, the orange player decided not to move their leader with the quick move. So we're just going to see if he raised suspicion. Since he did raise the suspicion by 1, it's going to go from 2 to 3. And on the ritual board, we can see that the orange player cannot advance. So that's it for the orange player, and now we're going to continue to the purple player. The purple player is going to brew. He did not match with another player or with the Septima, obviously, and it says brew up to 3 potions. So with all the ingredients that he has, we're going to make 3 potions. The first one is going to be calming potion. So we're going to pay 1 herb and 1 berry. And we're going to take the potion from the supply. So this is this one right over here. We're going to put it in our possession. And also we're going to score 3 wisdom. 1, 2, 3. Let's put it right over here. The second potion that he would like to do is the love potion. So we have 1 skull, 1 mushroom, and 1 root. We're going to take this from the supply. And also we're going to score another 3 wisdom. And the last potion that he would like to do is a remedy potion that is called Infection Remedy. So it's going to cost us 1 mushroom and 1 herb. And we're going to take it from the supply again and put it in our possession. So after finishing resolving the card, we see that this player did not raise the suspicion, and we're going to continue to phase C. Phase C is going to be relevant only for the orange player, and we can see that the orange player does not have an active hunter in his area. So we're going to continue to phase D. And over here we can see that because he doesn't have an active hunter in his area, we will take the first counterclockwise hunter that is situated, and we're going to move him over here. So in our case, it's going to be this one. Then moving to phase E, we're going to advance with all the tokens, and we're going to advance the lunar token to number 4. So as the first step, again, we're going to reveal the 2 cards. The orange player has decided to play the brew card, and the purple player has decided to play the ritual card. The orange player does have a match with the Septima, and he's going to brew up to 3 potions. Before that, he would like to take 1 quick move, so he's going to go to this location. He would like to do these 3 potions. The first one is the paralysis remedy. The second one is the practical potion flying ointment. And the third one is the infection remedy. So let's start first of all with the flying ointment. So we need to pay 1 mushroom and 1 berry. Since we don't have that, we will pay with a crystal. So we're going to take it from the main supply, put it in our possession, and we're going to score 3 wisdom for it. Then the next thing, let's do the infection remedy. So again, we're going to take 1 mushroom and 1 crystal, and we're going to take this remedy. And the third potion, which is the paralysis remedy, we will pay 1 crystal, but because we have the matching bonus, you may spend 1 fewer ingredients in total, we're only going to pay this 1 crystal in order to create this remedy. So let's take it and put it in our possession, and that was the turn of the orange player. The purple player decides not to take the quick move, but he will cast a spell and drink some potions. So let's see what he's going to do. He's going to cast the spell that is called Dark Moonstone. Score 2 wisdom for each practical potion you spend this season. So he's going to put it sideways, right? And because this is an ongoing spell, he's going to take this token that I hope this time we will not forget to take out, and he's going to put it right over here. So after that, he would like to drink 2 potions. So the first one that he would like to drink is the love potion, which is going to make him send 1 loyal citizen to the crowd, and then send 1 loyal citizen from the crowd to the trial chamber. So he's going to take this cute meeple, he's going to put it over here, and he's going to send 1 of those to the trial chamber. That was the love potion. And also, because we just cast this spell, we're going to score for him 2 wisdom. So these 2 wisdom we're going to put in his possession. The next potion that he would like to spend is the calming potion, which is to lower your suspicion by 2 or move a hunter to an empty hut and set it inactive. In our case, he would like actually to lower his suspicion, so from 2 it will go to 0. And again, because we have this spell, we're going to score 1 more time 2 wisdom. So 2 wisdom right in his possession, and this potion we can put back in the supply. Now moving on to phase C, so we're going to check who raised the suspicion. Obviously it was only the orange player, so we're going to roll the die. And since here we have 0 and the suspicion level of the orange player is 3, the hunter that is in the area is going to move 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. He does not reach the leader, so the hunter is going to go back. Phase D is not relevant for anyone. So we're going to move to phase E, going to advance all the tokens, and advancing with the lunar token to number 5. So we're almost done with the second season. Now both of the players are going to reveal their cards. The orange player has decided to play the heal card, and the purple player has decided to play the plead card. Let's start with the orange player. He will decide to do 1 quick move before resolving the action, so that was the movement. And now he would like to resolve the card itself, so we're of course on phase B. And that means that we can heal up to 2 adjacent patients. Now pay attention that he did match with the Septima, so we can gain 1 good luck charm. So starting with the first thing, we're going to take this potion, going to put it on the patient right over here. We are going to take 1 good luck charm from the supply and put it in our possession. And let's see what is the bonus that we're receiving. So over here, because that was a blue patient, okay, we're going to advance on this tracker right over here, and we're going to take 1 crystal as a reward. Since of course we matched with the Septima, the suspicion is going to raise by 1, so from 3 we're going to move to number 4. And that's it for the orange player. Moving to the purple player. So first of all, the purple player does not want to take a quick move, so he's just going to go immediately to resolving the card. That means phase B. Over here we can see that he can send 1 loyal citizen from the crowd into the trial chamber and score 2 wisdom, which is for him really awesome. So let's do that right over here. And he's going to take this 2 wisdom. And we can see that we do not have a match, so he's not going to resolve the bonus match that we have over here. And obviously he's not going to raise suspicion. We're moving on to phase C. Phase C is going to be relevant only to the orange player, so now he will need to throw the die. We have +1, so that is with the 4 that he already has, that is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And he reached the leader of the orange player. And because of that, now the orange player will have to say goodbye to 1 of those witches. The orange player decided actually that Katerina is not a witch that he would like to keep at this time, and he's going to send her to the trial chamber number 2. After that, the hunter is going back to the cabin. So now the suspicion level is going to drop from 4 to 3. And we can move the orange leader to whichever location that he would like to go. So I think that the orange leader would actually like to go to a place that he will be able to collect maybe later some resources. So just for the fun of it, let's say that he decided to go right over here. Moving to phase D, it's not relevant to anyone, so we're moving to the last phase, which is E. Of course, we're going to advance the tokens even though it's not really important anymore. And we're going to take out the patient that was just healed, so we're going to discard it face down next to the other tokens. The remedy itself we can put back in the supply. And we're going to advance the lunar marker to notice that we are now in the trials. So now again, we're going to see how many angry citizens we have. Since the orange player is on number 3, that means that we have 3 angry citizens. I'm going to take them from the supply and put them right over here. And for the purple player, he has the suspicion of 0. That means that only 1 angry citizen we're going to put in the crowd. And here I would like to show you something that we haven't seen before. Obviously, we're going to take all the citizens that we have in the crowd, but also the angry citizens that we have on the patients that we did not heal. So this is something else that is going to join into the bag. So now we're going to mix all the citizens, and let's see, the first one is an angry citizen. The next one is a loyal citizen of the purple player. And the last thing that we have is an angry citizen. So now we can see that we have more loyal citizens than angry citizen. That means the defense has won, hooray! And we can see that the player who won this trial is actually the purple player. So a few things here are going to happen. First of all, we're going to take this witch. Of course, we can decide not to, but the purple player would like to have another witch. But also, we can see that we have here some sort of a special power that maybe we'll be able to use right now. And his power is saying that at the end of the trial, choose one of the following. Either recall only 1 loyal citizen after winning each trial, or do not recall 1 loyal citizen after your crowd picks. And of course, if Brewing is on trial that you just won, you may use their ability immediately after taking them. So that means that if you remember, guys, we said that the player who just won the witch, the trial, okay, he's going to take it to his possession, and now he would need to recall 2 of their loyal citizens. So the power of Brewing is telling us that we can recall only 1 citizen instead of 2, so that's great. Or if later we're going to take one of the crowd picks, we will not need to recall a citizen. I think that the purple player decides actually to only recall at the time 1 of his loyal citizens back to his supply and leave the situation as is. Of course, let's not forget that the winner of the trial is also scoring 3 wisdom. So now after we finish the trial, we're going to put back all the citizens from the bag and from the first trial chamber back in the crowd. And if we have another trial, like we can see over here, we're going to have the same procedure again. Now I'm going to save some time, guys, okay? Because what we can see over here is that we have only 3 loyal citizens, and that means that it doesn't matter what will happen over here. In any case, we're going to lose the defense for Katerina. So unfortunately, Katerina, you are banished from the city. And all the citizens will stay right now in the crowd. I hope you understood, guys. I just made some sort of a fast forward. Now moving on to the crowd picks, but we can see that neither one of the players has the minimum of 3 loyal citizens that you need to have in order to take at least 1 crowd pick. So we're going to continue onwards to the end of the season. So again, the first step is to take all the patients that we healed, put them face down, shuffle them. In our case, there is nothing to shuffle because there is only 1. So we're just going to put it at the bottom of the stack. Then we're going to advance with the season marker. So now we're going to the 3rd season. We need to reset the moon tracker. So let's put it on number 1. Each player is going to take back to their hands all the cards that they played before, so now they can have all the cards back in their hand and available for the next season. Then the first player token will pass back to the purple player, and the 3 most bottom spells we're going to take and put back in the box, and the spells that we have in the middle we're going to put 1 step down, and like we did before, we're going to open all the spells that we can see right over here, so we have always 3 spells of each kind facing up. And that's it, you guys. This was 2 seasons that I wanted to show you in a playthrough. I just want to take you fast forward to the end game scoring to make sure that we understand a few things. First of all, you guys, of course, after the 4th season, the crowd picks are not important anymore. So we're going to score wisdom according to how many loyal citizens we have in the crowd or the trial chambers. So if we have 3 or 4, either in the crowd or in the chamber itself, we're going to score 3 wisdom. If we have 5 or 6, we're going to score 7 wisdom. So now each player is going to count how much wisdom tokens they have in their possession. Then, of course, we're going to see how many points we actually managed to score in the book of divinations, okay? Divinations? This is how you say it, guys? I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. So here I want to do maybe some clarifications, if I may. You can score these criterias according to how many witches we have in our cove, okay? So for example, right now the orange player has only 1 witch, and that means that he will be able to score only one of these categories. If we would like to score for 2 or more, that means that we need to have more witches. So of course, if I have 4 witches in my cove, I will be able to score for all of the 4 criterias. Then we're going to score the wisdom value for the highest level reached on each patient track, okay? So on each of them, of course, we can see the value, but also we can see that over here we have some sort of iconography, and that means that for each level that we reached with all the 3 patient markers, we're going to score 6 more wisdom. So obviously we see that in the first level over here, we managed to pass with the green, blue, and pink. And that means that on top of the normal scoring, we're going to have 6 more wisdom. If, for example, this was the case, we would have had 12 more wisdom, okay? 6 for the first one and 6 for the second one. Then we're going to score 2 wisdom for each of our remaining good luck charms. So over here, we can see that we will score 2 more. Then 1 more wisdom for each of our remaining potions. In our case, it would have been 2 more wisdom. Then we will score 1 more wisdom for each pair of remaining ingredients and crystals in any combinations. So over here now the orange player has 2 crystals. That is worth 1 more wisdom point. After that, we'll see which player has the most wisdom, and that player will be announced the next Septima. If we have a tie, then the player with the most witches in their coven will win. And again, if we have a tie, then all the players are going to drink potions together in the local tavern and are going to share their victory.